Howdy, it's me, Manic Mark, coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the Art Villa, found somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. And today I'm coming to you with a thin stack of records. There's more records on the way. I've been cleaning out the basement and I found 3 bowling clocks that I forgot that I had. And so I just mentioned it in social media, and David, the fabulous David, said, hey, I'll take those. And there's some records, so that's pretty cool. Some records, and that'll be fun. It'll be fun to see the records. And but I stopped at half-price, full-price books yesterday, and came home. That was yesterday. Today I came home from the gym, and it started to snow. It's going to be pretty. I don't know how nasty it's going to be, but some of you all out there are probably living in areas where it's already pretty nasty. Anyway. So I'm at half-price, full-price books, and there's a guy. He's in there, and he's looking through the discount stuff. So I go to the other side, where I know he hasn't been yet, because the records haven't been messed up. You know, it's kind of pushing etiquette a little bit, depending on which way he's going, what's in his head. And I get the chair and I sit down, far away from him as I possibly can. B, not to get into space. So I'm looking, and he's sitting on the floor, and he's probably 50, maybe, late 40s. And I hear him say, no way, no way. And every now and then he would say, no way. What's the story? So finally I see him, he kind of looks over where I'm looking, and I think, oh, kind of in his way maybe, I don't know. Anyway. So he stands up, groans and stands up and says, oh, it's going to be hard to stand up. And I know what he's talking about. And I said, well, that's why I got the chair. Because I know, he goes, oh, I shouldn't have gone to the gym first. And I said, well, fancy that. I just went to the gym too before I came here. He says, where do you go? And I tell him, and he tells me, and then he shows me, so now he feels like he can talk to me, and it's okay. So far, so good. So then he says, I'm interested in what he's picked out of this row, since I'm going to go through it, right? After he leaves, or whatever happens. So he goes, oh, you know, I got a record player for Christmas. And he mentioned a brand name, just a little cheap thing. I don't know. It didn't register to me. Maybe it was like one of those Crosley knockoff things or whatever. By the way, Crosley never made any of that stuff. They just bought the name, maybe the logo for Crosley, and applied it to whatever, like a toaster, you know. Like, they made radios, you know, but not the radios that they stick the name on. It's just a thing. It's a thing for me. I'm a radio collector. Did you know that? That's right. I haven't bought one in like 10 years, but I've got radios in the house. I collected radios for like 7 or 8 years. Anyway, so he starts showing me, oh, these things I grew up with as a kid, like John Denver, and he shows me the John Denver. It's a few other, just like, oh, that's right, because where can you have this much fun for $1? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's true. I said, nowhere. And I'm thinking, like, thank God you're buying that stuff, because I'm not, you know. And then I can look through it, and I can feel comfortable looking through this. Like, that's all. Feel comfortable. I was just so happy. And then I heard him up at the cash register, like, oh yeah, I got this record player. Like, oh, and I said, well, you know, I started with a record player, low-end record player. I didn't tell him what kind. Didn't matter. And I said, you know, some of them sound pretty good. I was happy with mine. It was an Ion, you know, a belt drive. The files were fine that came out of the thing. So an actual hi-fi guy listening now is cringing. It's probably like threw up a little bit. But then I went to the Technica drop, because I just wanted a direct drive, because belts tend to stretch, and your hearing doesn't pick it up until it's like really bad. You know, so you have this whole, it's like a needle going bad. Like, one record it sounds good, the next record it's like, wow, what's wrong with this record? It's not the record, the needle's worn down to nothing, but for some reason you didn't hear it on the, you know, the album that you just played. This is getting too technical for a Friday evening video. Okay, we'll go on. I don't have any idea. It's on Phillips. I don't know who Brian Hyland is. I don't recognize any. He does a cover of Norwegian Wood, which is the record's kind of worn out. There's another photograph of him on the back, rocking the folk. An album, but he looks like he's 10 years older than the photograph they used on the cover. Huh. I have no idea. Arrangements by Leon Russell, and out caps. The record's a little bit rough, I don't know. But for $1, where can you have that much fun? Bill Seville and his orchestra, We Could Have Danced All Night. I think I may have this one, but it's a sweet cover, so I had to pick it up just in case. Most of the time, I don't have it, so... No, I don't have this one, and that was in the dollar bin, Sly and the Family Stone. Gatefold, what was it, 1979 or something, or another date on it from... I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, probably, I don't know. And it's a local record, that's why I bought it, but I had to buy it. I bought it just for the cover, because there's the family. Who is it? It's the Mullins. And it's just a snapshot of the Mullins family sitting in their living room. That's why I love these albums so much. The covers can be great. I got this one, but I picked it up again, just in case this copy's better than the copy that I have. That's always my excuse. I don't have this one, and the record looks pretty rough, but sometimes they clean up and they sound okay, and for $1, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown, who in the hell's that? Oh, that's right, the date was on this, 1968, Atlantic Records. Track Records, never heard of it. I have no idea. Might have to sample something from that. And this I bought, why? Well, you know, it was $1. Promotional not for sale, that means nothing. 1979. Got to be disco, probably. I don't know. They're all wearing capes with sticks. All the guys are wearing tight, sparkly outfits, capes with sticks to make the cape, the ends of the cape stick out even farther, and they probably wore those in the show. Do you think, how do they play guitar and bass and stuff? Not wearing all them wings, like angel wings with capes with sticks, I don't know. Anyway, and it's silvery, that was silvery, so I had to pick it up. Now you're going to laugh at me. Why should that be any different tonight than, you know, the 1,400 other videos that you made? Another copy of Quiet Village. Oh, why'd you buy another copy of Quiet Village? Well, it was so clean, I had to save it. Plus it's stereo, and I know I got the stereo copy, but just in case you do have it, you know you have it. It's probably a clean copy. I was just listening to him the other day, Martin Denny. His stuff's just so good. And harmonica albums, pass them up unless they have a cover of harmonicas with eyeballs and pipe glued on, eyeballs glued on, and pipe cleaners for arms. It's a little setup of they made the harmonicas look like little cartoon people. How could I pass that up? You couldn't. Who could? Not me. Picked this one up because it looks like, and I meant to look it up, but I did, 1962, but this looks like the cover for like the late 50s Morton Gould album. It's even called Coffee Time. I know there was it's probably not the same one, but anyway, there's people sitting around having coffee at a card table, one guy smoking a cigarette, and it's a specialty product for Acme Markets. Acme Markets. I don't know what they sold there. Explosives for the Coyote and Roadrunner, I guess. And speaking of Martin Denny, there's a nice giant photograph of Martin Denny and his band right there. That's an impressively large photograph of Martin Denny. Who was in his group at this point? Frank Kim, Henry Allen, Benito Bus, sorry about that, Ted Blake, not Pitchard, Bernie Felcher, Bud Coleman, Frank DeVito, and Frank DeCaro. Well, what's interesting about this, Dave Pill, producer, Julius White, arranger. They got an arranger on this one? Yeah, that's interesting. But it's a late Martin Denny that I don't have. Like Strangers in the Night, Lore's Theme, Snowflakes in Summer, On a Clear Day, The Shadow of Your Smile. It's just later, like a 70s, I think. 1967, late 60s. There's a stamp on the back of the date. You went on too long about that. And I put this on the bottom of the stack, not that I'm going to feature anything from it, but I just love the cover and the title. Hit Parade of Czechoslovakia. That's right. Oh man. So they put the titles on the back in Czechoslovakian. Is that what they speak there, or they they speak some other, like German or something? I don't know. And then right next to them they have the titles in English, which meant this was probably distributed here. Yes, it was. Out of New York, Apon Records out of New York. And I'll sample it, but you probably won't hear anything from it. Just a great cover. That's it. Oh, that's it. I'm wearing a Christmas present. My wife got me this vest with a spider on it. I really like it. It's very lightweight. It's kind of made for athletes. And even though it's, and it's the thing about working out is it's freezing cold outside, but I go out without a whole lot of clothes on, kind of warm. But maybe this vest is just warm even though it's really thin. And she got me this great hat. It has a French Bulldog. See, this is like subliminal. So we have Luna, right? The English miniature, English Bull Terrier. And I always wanted a French Bulldog, right? So now she shows me pictures of French Bulldogs and buys me a hat with a Frenchie on the side of it. And I'm like, because I'm like, oh, Jesus, one dog is enough. Not for her, but for me. Because all you do is like take care of the dog. You got to take on the responsibility once you have a dog. Don't be an idiot. Take care of it, right? That's right. Okay, thanks. Now on to the musical sample.